Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to a long overdue video. It's been quite a while. Now, let's get right into the fragrance. Winter is here in New York City, so of course we have to talk about a winter fragrance. Now, I do know that we're technically in fall, but that's the winter fragrance realm. I don't think there's such thing as a fall fragrance because once temperature dips below 60 degrees, you're heading into the winter zone. So let's talk about a very special fragrance, a first of a kind for myself because I'm very peculiar with what I buy. We are talking about none other than, let's see if it'll focus. You can't even see it. Initial Side Effect. And this is packaged very well off the retail. You get a over box thing, whatever. You get the actual box for the fragrance, which again has a beautiful gold embossing. And then you get the fragrance itself, of course, in a presentational manner. And quick detail, it's not important, but it's good to know. These boxes are made like brick, so you have something that'll protect the fragrance very well, as long as it's in its box. Now the fragrance itself looks beautiful. If you take a look at that, if it'll focus, it is a very beautiful bottle. The cap itself is very nice. It's not magnetic, but it is heavy, so you know it's a good quality bottle overall. Now, let's talk about the fragrance itself. The notes listed on Initio's website are tobacco, vanilla, rum, cinnamon, hedion, which I will talk about in a second, so don't forget that. Some leathery notes, animalistic notes, some woody notes, more on the side of the vanilla bean thing. I don't know how to explain it. They basically describe it as like a woody vanilla smell. So now, as many of you may know, what you smell and what is listed is not always the same. What I can say is, when I smell this fragrance, I can't really tell what the notes are. Now, let's talk about a specific note that I mentioned earlier, which is head on, I think it's called. That is a popular little molecule that comes from a plant that, according to Google, because I'm not a genius, activates certain neurons, something to do with the olfactory senses. That is very important because I genuinely think that this fragrance is a little overhyped because the smell itself, to me, it doesn't smell specifically very different than some of the other stronger fragrances that I've smelled. And I'll get into a brand specifically that you might see the correlation between both, and I'll tell you why. Like I was saying, the smell itself is not particularly interesting to me. But what I have noticed is that to others, it is very, very noticeable. And I mean to women, mostly, not as much to men. But to women, it's a very noticeable smell. So, yes, this does actually particularly get the attention of women more than men, despite the fact that, for you ladies, this is also considered to be a unisex fragrance. So you can wear it, and it is a very pleasant smell on anybody who wears it. But I do notice that it's a fragrance that more ladies will like over men. Okay? Another factor. This fragrance has insane performance. So props to Initio for that. It has insane performance. 3 sprays is more than enough. In my opinion, 3 sprays is more than enough. 3 sprays on my neck lasted me around probably 24 hours. Insane, right? I sprayed it in the day. I woke up next morning. I could still smell it on my body. This is not a scent that you want to spray too close to sleeping, because trust me when I say this, you're not going to sleep. unless you take a shower and really scrub. Okay, you're not going to sleep because it is a very strong scent. So try to not spray before going to sleep, and if you do, take a shower afterwards. You'll thank me. Now, besides that monstrous performance that this fragrance has, it has a monstrous sillage. Okay, this is a fragrance that, and I urge you people that are watching this video, wear very sparingly. I would even argue to say that it's probably smarter to get the smaller bottle, because I don't think that you should overspray this, and that's probably the only reason why I would ever get this big bottle. But that's not the point. The point is, this is a performance monster fragrance. I mean, genuinely a performance monster. This is probably one of the better performing fragrances that I have. Now, for the 50 ml bottle, you're paying around $280 US. For the 90 ml bottle, you're paying around $420 US. Always remember that you can buy them from discounters at a much cheaper price, because yes, it is a ridiculous price. Now, remember earlier when I was talking about smelling similar to other fragrances? This fragrance smells very similar to Parfums de Marly fragrances, or PDM fragrances. Reason being, it is a sister company to PDM. It is both owned by the same parent company. So if you like Parfums de Marly, trust me, you will like Initio. It's a little bit more bold, a little bit more modern than PDM, but it is in the similar realm. Same thing with performance, because PDM fragrances perform incredibly well. This fragrance is a compliment getter, and this fragrance is one of the better performing fragrances that I own. However, and I will say this very clearly, I'm not the biggest fan of the smell. I wear it for other people. This is one of those fragrances that you wear for other people if, like me, you don't really like super strong fragrances. That is to say that the reason that I don't like this fragrance, besides it being overwhelmingly strong and headache-inducing, is it smells very chemically. And I don't mean like in a bad way chemically. I mean like it smells like chemicals, like chemicals you would use to make fragrances. You know, some fragrances play it off more smoothly, others don't. This is one of those that doesn't. Another point is, if you are buying a fragrance to appreciate the fragrance, I don't know if you're going to be able to appreciate this, because, like I said, it's, God, that's strong. It's very hard to pick out any particular smells. All of that being said, I do think this is a great fragrance. I do not think it's worth the $420 or $280 that the 50 and 90 ml cost. My rating for this fragrance is an incredible and probably surprising 8.5 out of 10. That is because it absolutely dominates its downsides by being an incredible performer, something you know will absolutely be working on you as long as it's on your body. And to top it, that heroin or Hidion note does do wonders. It does work. It does give people a reaction to your fragrance. And so, props to Initio for creating a fragrance that, and I'm sure the other ones are like this, for creating fragrances that perform absolutely incredible under all circumstances. If you liked the video and would love to see more videos like this, please feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and a comment of any other fragrances that you guys might want to be able to see in the future, and I will do my best to get my hands on it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and on till the next video. Goodbye.